Karma, Kriya, Liberation. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Karma, Kriya, Liberation. There is a vast difference between theory and practice. Both should go hand in hand. Vedanta or philosophy can be divided into three parts: ethics, psychology, and metaphysics. Ethics, the truth of scriptural truths as applied to material life. This relates to human duty, moral laws, and behavior. Psychology, truths as applied to mental well being. Metaphysics explains the nature of God and how to know Him. These are taken together and putting into practice constitute religion. That is ethics, psychology, and metaphysics. They are taken together, and when they put into practice, they constitute religion. The liberated soul merges into cosmic consciousness and yet manifests in form to the receptive devotees. Such is the mighty power of the liberated soul. That is how Sri Krishna, Rama, and Jesus appeared and shall continue to appear to the ardent devotees like Tukaram, Tulasidas. The souls that are in true contact with Sri Rama and Sri Krishna shall definitely find them day in and day out. For unaccounted millenniums, Bharat has been the spiritual beacon. It is Bharat which has advocated divine soul science of yoga. Yoga is the union with God, the Father, Parabrahman. The method of contacting this cosmic vibration, Om, is for the first time being spread worldwide by means of meditation, techniques of Kriya Yoga science. Through the blessings of communion with Om, the limited human consciousness is expanded to receive the ocean of Krishna consciousness. The adept in practice of the science of Kriya Yoga who consciously experiences the presence of Om and merges in the sun or in the immanent Christ consciousness or Tat, attains thereby realization of God or Sat or Parabrahman and entry into the infinite kingdom of God. Hence practice Kriya Yoga systematically and enter into the kingdom of God. An unparalleled courage is required in this regard. Such a soul is said to be divine. Great Guru Tegh Bahadur is said to be such a divine, noble, and courageous soul. To cite an example, the ninth Sikh Guru was beheaded publicly by orders of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb as he refused to convert to Islam. The revered Guru considered this body is trivial as such to serve the humanity and hence sacrificed his body for the sake of sufferings of humanity. The required guidance to the noble soul shall be given by God Himself in order to be in right direction. This comes in some form or the other. Gautam Buddha came. His avatara or incarnation reminded people to follow the wheel of Dharma Chakra, ever rotating wheel of karma. God is not a cosmic dictator. Man only is responsible for his predicament. Bhagavan Sri Krishna advocated the way of God realization and divine love through the practice of supreme spiritual science of yoga, union with God. and theology and mechanical rituals is of little use to the humanity. One should understand the magnitude of divine avatar. It is imperative to understand the source and nature of consciousness that is incarnate in the avatar. Those who unite their consciousness to God know both the transcendent and the immanent nature of spirit, Parabrahman. It is ever existing, ever conscious, and ever new bliss. Parabrahman is manifested and cannot be described. It was the knower, the knowing, and the known. It is existing as one. It is the being. It is a cosmic consciousness, and it is the omnipotence. It is ever existing. It is ever conscious, and it is ever newly joyous Parabrahman. It is ever newly joyous Parabrahman. The Parabrahman first gave rise to a magic delusion. A magic delusion. Parabrahman first gave rise to a magic delusion, Maya, the cosmic magical measurer. All creation is nothing but Parabrahman, seemingly and temporarily diversified by Parabrahman's creative vibratory activity. Shabda means intelligent vibration, intelligent energy, going forth from Parabrahman. Before creation, there is only undifferentiated Parabrahman. In manifesting creation, Parabrahman becomes Sat, that is transcendental intelligence. By ancient Sanatana Dharma scriptures, Tat and Om. Parabrahman, Sat, Tat and Om is called Holy Trinity. The vibratory force that emanates from Parabrahman, Sat, is endowed with illusory power of Maya, is Om, cosmic vibration. All moving and unmoving things like stones, liquids and gases and living beings are nothing but frozen imagination of Parabrahman Sat in the Om. This Om is called Mahaprakriti, cosmic mother. This gives birth to creation. The universe is not the result of happening by chance rather than intention. It is not a chance excrescence of solids, liquids and gases into earth, oceans, atmospheres, plants, all harmoniously interrelated to provide a habitable home for human beings. The transcendent consciousness of Parabrahman, Sat, became manifest within the Om vibration as the Krishna consciousness, as the Sri Krishna consciousness, God's intelligence in all vibratory creation. Here, the one eternal becomes the eternal Trinity or Triputi. Parabrahman, Sat, husband, Tat, wife, Jagannatha, and Om. It is same as Sat, Tat and Om in Vedic scriptures. That is what Vedic scriptures say, Ekam Sat, Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. There is only one exists, but it is described as many. It is akin, there exists one sun, it is akin to, there exists one sun, but its rays of light are myriad. The light of sun is unchanging. If we keep a blue spherical ball around sun, the unchanging white rays around sun appears as blue light. This is due to the reflection in the blue crystal ball. The sun does not create the crystal ball, but the introduction of crystal ball creates the vibratory reflections or simply the vibrations. As the president of a nation does not do any work himself as such, he appoints his deputy to foresee the work. Similarly, Parabrahman Sat makes this blue ball to foresee the universe. This blue ball is the Tat. The universe is Om. So the Parabrahman Sat evolved the Om with its creative vibratory power to manifest the universal message of Parabrahman Sat. Thus, metaphorically, soon as the cosmic bachelor Parabrahman Sat contemplates to create the universe, he becomes husband. Parabrahman Sat, wedded to the cosmic virgin Tat, Jagannatha, giving birth to his reflection, the only begotten son, Om. Mama yonik mahat brahma, tasmin garbham dadamyaham. Sambhavat sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Gita 14.3. My womb is great Prakriti, into which I deposit the seed. This is the cause of birth of all beings. The Sri Krishna consciousness present in all specks of creation is the only undifferentiated pure reflection of the Parabrahman Sat. Om is the distinct, active, differentiated conscious intelligence that brings into manifestation all particles of vibratory creation, which is imbued with the only begotten Son, Tat. The inactively active Krishna consciousness or Son or Tat, Shuddha Tattva Maya or Tat, Shuddha Tattva Maya is the conscious presence of Parabrahman Sat's intelligent divine plan in creation. Tat or Son is the eternal witness of the work of Om vibration. It is holy because it acts in accordance with the Parabrahman Sat's consciousness will. Sri Krishna consciousness, macrocosmically or in samishti, universe is divided into three independent bodies. They are interdependent. Man is the replica of universe microcosmically, or in vyasti, they are interdependent. These interdependent consciousnesses are called causal or idea, astral and physical bodies microcosmically in man and macrocosmically as such in universe. Parabrahman Sat's individual is individually called Parabrahman Sat is called Brahman, and collectively that is all Brahmans together is called Parabrahman. Parabrahman or Brahman is pure and uncorrupted. Man's soul or Brahman is covered by these three bodies, that is, namely, you can say causal or idea, astral and physical bodies. The causal body emits a magnetic force of light and intelligent energy. This emitted magnetic force of light and intelligent energy is called life trance by Paramahansa Yogananda Swami. This forms the astral body. The astral body of life chronic, this astral body of life trance is itself the life energy that empowers all the senses and functions of the physical body. All of these vibratory manifestations of the macrocosm and microcosm derive from the Om vibration and transcendent consciousness of God. Om vibratory sound is equivalent to Veda. It carries materializing power. Pavitra implies the intelligent, invisible, and conscious force. Pavitra describes this vibration. It is the manifestation of Parabrahman Sat. It is creating the universe in accordance with the perfect imaginations of Parabrahman Sat. The cosmic sound or Om is the intelligent creative vibration. Akara, Ukara, Makara, Sanyuktam, Omkaram. Akaram stands for creative vibration. Ukara stands for preservative vibration. And Makara stands for power of dissolution. The Om or cosmic vibration is the origin of all things. Without him was not anything made that was made. The sound or Nadam existed from the very beginning of creation. The Om Nadam was with Parabrahman Sat, imbued with Parabrahman Sat's reflected intelligence, Sri Krishna consciousness. And the Om Nadam was with Parabrahman Sat, vibrations of his own being. Sri Krishna affirms in Bhagavad Gita, among words, I am the one syllable Om. Maharshinam Brugurham Giramasmi Ekam Aksharam. Yajnanam Japayagnosmi Sthavaranam Himalaya. Gita 10:25. Of all manifestations, I am the beginning, middle, and end. Sarganam Adi Antascha Madhyam Cha Eva Arjuna. Adhyatma Vidya Vijnanam Vada Prabhadatam Aham. Gita 10:32. I, the unchanging and everlasting, sustain and permeate the entire cosmos with but one fragment of my being. Nantosmi mama divyanam vibhutenam parantapa yeshatu deshatah prakto vibhute svistaro maya. Gita 10:42. Sage Vyasa was the writer of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Sage Vyasa is the only begotten son, Kutastha Chaitanya, Sri Krishna consciousness, Arthat. Likewise, Swami Shankara, 700 AD, Mahavatar Babaji, Lahiri Mahasai, Swami Sri Yukteswar, and Paramahansa Sri Yogananda. They became the sons of God. Yoga, divine union, is practical way of knowing God. Yoga was invented by rishis. Darkness means delusion, ignorance. In Sanatana Sanskrit scriptures, the concepts are explained clearly. Darkness manifests in two ways, Maya and Avidya. Maya is the mass hypnosis of God. Avidya gives individuality of form. Parabrahman is light. In the intelligent, creative cosmic vibration that went forth from the cosmic consciousness of God were his first two expressions in manifested creation, sound, the Om, and light. Man is drunk with delusion. Man is drunk with delusion. It obliterates his true perception. The darkness of one's ignorance cannot apprehend the light of Brahman vibrating everywhere. Both Maya, cosmic delusion, and individual ignorance, avidya, work together. That will obscure and confound the Brahman's inherent intuitive sense of Parabrahman's omnipresence. The meditation shall remove avidya and Maya. The light of cosmic energy is the life of all beings. In scriptural writings, truths are repeated. It is necessary for moral perception and spiritual assimilation. It brings out the meaning emphatically and clearly. Yoga teaches how to join the immortals by contacting the light and realizing the unity of human consciousness with the true light which lighteth every man. The word refers to the entire cosmos. The whole cosmos was evolved from that cosmic light, and the true light was kept hidden by delusion. This is not to be seen by sentient beings, but by real, sincere, and true yogis only. Delusion, life, and mind cannot reflect the Parabrahman at all. Parabrahman has objected himself as such. Parabrahman was omnipresently immanent in creation. Parabrahman made all things materialized from the cosmic light. This cosmic light itself is issued from Parabrahman's cosmic consciousness. It is his own self. Maya is also not independent. It has to be under the subjugation of Parabrahman. So Parabrahman is himself is nothing but matter, life and consciousness process. The intervention of cosmic delusion, matter, life and mind do not fully and truly reflect and express the divine immanence. The light of Parabrahman falls equally on everything. Carbon requires high pressure so as to become diamond. To be a son or tat of a Parabrahman, one has to make oneself to be prepared to receive that light of Parabrahman. One should communion with his name, Om vibration. He has no other name. Patanjali Maharshi said his symbol is Pranava, the holy sound, Om. Chanting and meditating Om on its meaning, all obstacles are removed. Consciousness turns inwards. Yoga Sutras 1 27-29. The inner consciousness is hidebound by body. This will be removed by chanting Om continuously. The inner consciousness expands. It will vibrate in all creation. The physical body merges into physical cosmos and into astral body and into astral cosmos and then into causal body or causal cosmos. His continuous chanting makes his consciousness stable in all vibratory creation. He becomes Sri Krishna like. Sri Krishna felt like the universe expressed in his body and taught his devotees to do likewise so that they can also feel similarly and get into beatitude or bliss which is unparalleled. The cosmic consciousness Parabrahman existing transcendentally beyond all vibratory Om Nadam creation and the Sri Krishna consciousness universal intelligence Kutastha Chaitanya in all vibratory manifestation are realized as one and the same. After chanting Om continuously, the meditating man or sadhak gets into vibration less or still state. This still state or vibrationless state, this still state or vibrationless state is known as Tat state. After reaching Tat, Sri Krishna consciousness in creation and my Parabrahman are one and the same. It is something like man or like woman in office and in home are one and the same. Everybody is a son of the man with physical body. This comes out of another human body of flesh and blood, human will and sexual union, born of protoplasm and bloodline of family or racial heredity. But the Tat is the inherent divine consciousness of man or the Brahman. It is not born of man's will or flesh or sex or family blood or pedigree. It is born of Parabrahman. In fact, all human beings are sons of Parabrahman, Tat made in Parabrahman's image. In reality, one must contact Parabrahman in meditation. The Nadam is Om, is the creative energy. It is the sound of cosmic vibration. This vibratory energy producing sound is condensed into matter. Professor Jagadish Chandra Bose stated that even a piece of tin responds to stimuli. The Brahman lives within the body. It comes within the spell of Maya, the self, the pseudo soul. It identifies itself with its physical and mental expressions, forgets all its divine nature, and masquerades as body circumscribed ego, as a body circumscribed ego. Scientific yoga techniques of meditation enable the Brahman to regain the memory of its oneness with the omniscient, omnipresent Parabrahman. No moral bound by senses can see Parabrahman except by lifting his consciousness to Sri Krishna consciousness. No man can see Parabrahman with his naked eye. It is the Sri Krishna intelligence in the creation that can manifest the invisible Parabrahman transcendent beyond creation. The consciousness is impregnated with Sri Krishna intelligence that is present everywhere. The nature of Sri Krishna magnetism is the expression of Parabrahman's love. Sri Krishna is the great avatar. Sri Krishna's love give to the world the yoga of liberation from the sea of suffering through scientific meditation and right action. End of discourse 1. Karma, Kriya, liberation. Discourse 2. The cosmic principle of reincarnation with the law of karma depends upon cause and effect, which sows and reaps. Earthbound desires and karma of past compel the ordinary soul to reincarnate. Great Brahmans or souls come on earth and finish their karma to act as noble sons of God. They become ultimately mature to become masters. They incarnate to help other souls to reach the higher state. Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Swami Vivekananda. As per divine plan, Ramakrishna Paramahansa was the guru, preceptor, and Swami Vivekananda was the disciple. Guru Ramakrishna has to play a lesser role, and Swami Vivekananda has to play a major role. The mantle of Guru Ramakrishna has to be taken by Vivekananda in the present incarnation. God plays with the stage methods in nature. Some plants produce similar plants by sowing the seeds, whereas others can produce with a small stem cutting. The animal kingdom evolves through sexual reproduction, yet certain species of Snail produces its own kind independently of male-female union. In science laboratories, frogs have been reproduced by simultaneous of female ova without the introduction of male sperm. Creation occurs by the divine will or fiat of Parabrahman. God did not create original man, woman, sexual union. The Sanatana Vaidika Dharma also mentions the real immaculate conception made possible by power of mind. Man and woman producing offspring without actual involvement of sex was mentioned umpteen number of times in Sanatana Vaidika Dharma. The rishis of ancient India had the power to create by mind. Cosmic vibration, Prakriti Om, that informs all matter. Creative vibration is reasoning power in male. Creative vibration is feeling power in female. Many saints were born in natural way and others in immaculate ways. The great liberated ones retain their individuality in Parabrahman. They come to the earth at the behest of Parabrahman. They come as saviors. Buddha and other avatars are also born in the immaculate way. The mother of Gautam saw the Parabrahman enter her body. The universal Christ intelligence was born or reflected in the cosmic body of pure vibratory creation through the instrumentality of Parabrahman. The holy cosmic vibration Om is Mahaprakriti. She is the mother of the immanent universal Sri Krishna intelligence, the Son of God or Tat, and of all created objects. During meditation, the third eye is seen as a brilliant white silver star surrounded by opal blue sphere, and it is surrounded by a radiant golden circle. The devotee, through the techniques of Kriya Yoga, finds the light of brilliance between the eyes. The vision of the spiritual eye is spherical and can see into omnipresence. Spiritual signs appear on the body and face of a realized soul. These signs are kept secret. Only the realized souls can read them. Sri Krishna, the great avatar, birth, details. Lord Krishna is very important avatar of Sri Vishnu. Avatar means coming down to the earth. Surasen was the king of Madura. Vasudev was his son. Devaki was the wife of Vasudeva. He had another wife called Rohini. Rohini was staying in Vraja under the protection of Nanda, the king of Vraja. Nanda was the friend of Vasudeva. Ugrasen was the king of Bhoja. Kansa was his son and Devaki was his daughter. One day Kansa was riding his chariot with his sister Devaki and brother-in-law Vasudev on the roads of Bhoja kingdom. Then he heard a voice telling him that the eighth offspring of his sister Devaki will be the cause of his death. Hearing this, the evil-minded Kansa became furious and wanted to kill his sister and brother-in-law. Devaki persuades him in not killing them with the promise that each and every offspring shall be handed over to him to do whatever he likes. Kansa puts both of them in jail. Thereafter he kills Six of Devaki's children, one after another brutally. Nanda was the king of Raja or Vrindavan. Yasoda was his wife. Yoga Maya keeps the Adi Seshu in the womb of Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva, with the orders of Lord Sri Mahavishnu. Adi Seshu is a part of Lord Sri Mahavishnu. People think that the seventh offspring of Asoda was a miscarriage. Yoga Maya herself takes birth in the womb of Asoda, the wife of Nanda, as ordained by Lord Sri Mahavishnu. Vishnu himself enters the womb of Devaki. After the birth of Vishnu, ordained by Lord, Vasudeva carries the child in a basket, crosses the river Yamuna and goes to Vrindavan. Yamuna herself gives the way so that Vasudeva can easily cross the river. He keeps the Lord in the bed of Yasoda. He returns the just born Yogamaya of Yasoda back to jail and keeps the infant on Devaki's bed. Till that time, the caretaker of the jail was sleeping as dead. Even the doors were opened automatically. Hearing the cries of the child, Kansa comes by running to kill the eighth child. When he was about to kill the child, Yoga Maya flies away and tells that the real male child is already born and is being brought up in Vrindavan. Nanda names the son of Yasoda as Sri Krishna and Rohini's son as Balarama. Balarama is a part of Paramatma, that is Adi Seshu. Sri Krishna started showing his powers right from the state of infancy. He kills a demon called Putana, who came in the guise of giving milk to Sri Krishna by sucking the milk of poison from her breast. In fact, this is a symbolism of sucking the poison of an evil heart by removing Tamasaguna. Pu means full. Pu means full of Tana, means materialism. Thereafter he kills Sakatasura, symbolizing fickle mind. Likewise he kills Trunavarta, symbolizing Tamasa Guna or negative quality. Nanda, in fact, was a divine person called Drona. He is one of the 8 divine Vasus. His wife was Dharma, meaning earth. Drona was born as King Nanda of Raja and Dhara as his wife Yasoda. Sri Krishna was born on Shravana Bahula Ashtami, indicating the importance of practice of Ashtanga Yoga so that the darkness of ignorance can be uprooted. That day is famous as Janmashtami. There are several stories regarding godly, youthful servants around in the spiritual lore of India. The children of God, given work, come on earth for a specific purpose. They will be bestowed with supernatural wisdom transcending on them. Rishi or sage Vyasa was the compiler of the Vedas as well as the composer of the epic Mahabharata. Mahabharata contains Bhagavad Gita also. He had a saintly son called Sukha Maharshi. Vyasa had a saintly son called Sukha Maharshi. He heard the Vedas and Mahabharata slokas from his father, says Vyasa. He used to recite all the slokas or verses even during his childhood. Even Adi Shankaracharya could complete his Vedic education by the time he attained 8 years. There is no greater duty than one's duty to God. Spiritual and material duties complement each other. The ordinary man considers his duty towards his family and work is of paramount importance. A spiritual man thinks in a reverse way. That is, his duty towards God is supreme and all other works are trivial. Everyone should help each other with or without asking. This helps or paves the way to universal consciousness. The actions that are activated by instinctive blood ties and greed are nothing but selfish. Business that conforms with God's divine laws, if lasting benefit to mankind, failing which it leads to destruction by the very nature of its activities. When one is spiritually successful, then he will be successful materially and morally also, because these are governed by spiritual laws. Kriya Yoga is a panacea for all successful acts, for all successful laws. Kriya Yoga is a remedy for physical, astral, mental and causal problems. A life can be successful, healthy and complete, balanced with wisdom and happiness when the activity is guided by God's inner intuitive wisdom. Everybody should remember God first. Bharat, that is India, is remarked by spiritual solace. So any spiritual seeker has journeyed down to Bharat. There are two ways of knowing an avatar. First, to glimpse his essence that shines through a melange of facts. Second, to have direct knowledge of Great One through intuitive divine communion with that soul. Examples: Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa and Paramahansa Sri Yogananda. The caste-ridden, stone-worshipping, distorted interpretation of pseudo-scholars are to be discarded. They must be understood in the context of Vedas, Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. This essence of truth, the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal principles of righteousness that uphold the man and the universe, was given to the world many a thousand of years before the dawn of Christian era. They are preserved in Bharat. The quest for God is the be-all and end-all life and not an armchair diversion. The East and West should practice give-and-take policy. East needs material development and West needs spiritual balance. God is one, ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. This is what the Upanishad says. We are all the children of God, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, color, race and nationality. We are made in His image. This is the message of Jesus Christ. Do not identify yourself with religious bigotry. Become identified with universal law, universal love. Become identified with universal love. It is expressed in service to all. The heavenly consciousness comes through the third eye. The Kriya Yoga sadhak or meditating man ascends from body to Om, Krishna consciousness, that is only begotten Son, and then to cosmic consciousness of God the Father, that is Parabrahma. The ritual or body purification is to be done by bathing. Then next comes mind purification. That is why in Sanatana Vaidika Bharatiya Sampradaya, the meditating man or sadhaka has to undergo. One has to take bath first, then with purity of mind has to undergo mantra diksha. The meditating man has to take bath first, and then with purity of mind has to undergo mantra diksha. Cleanliness is the next to godliness. Is a worthwhile first session, first lesson for initiation to spirituality. Immersion in water opens the pores of the skin, letting out of body poison. It soothes the circulatory system. Life came initially from energy, then from nebulae, then from water. All seeds of life connected with water. Physical life cannot exist without life. Water will temporarily cool the mind. It is the mental purity that receives the ceremonial initiation. It may be immersion or by symbolic sprinkling of water on head. The man should purify himself regularly with meditation. If one comes into the vicinity of spiritual person, he will come into the contact of spiritual magnetism. As you sow, so you reap. If you associate yourself with a successful businessman, you will be imbued with creative business sense. Similarly, with a great creative poet, one will be imbued with imagination. Association with a high morality person and self-control will be imbued with morality and self-control. Om chanting is the holy creative vibration. Man is a microcosm of the universe. It is the combination of body, life force and consciousness. This consciousness is the reflection of Sri Christ consciousness.